Hey everyone, what's up? Thank you so much for coming. Tonight is Rise Night. We're gonna have worship and an interview with NBA player Tyler Cook. And afterwards, there's gonna be a big small group where you have the chance to win the Uprising party pack. In this party pack, there's snacks, gift cards, and the exclusive Uprising blanket. So, it's not too late to invite a friend. Rise Night is starting right now, so let's get to it and watch together.
Hey Uprising!
We miss you and we can't wait to see you.
Love you all so much.
Hi, my Uprising students. Can't wait to see you at Rise Night. I sure do miss you and I'm praying for you. I love you. Bye.
Hey, what's going on, Uprising? Just wanted to tell you guys I miss you, I love you, I've been praying for you, and I cannot wait to see you. God is for you.
Hi Uprising students, I sure miss you guys. I wish you were here or I were there. I love you, I'm praying for you, and I hope to see you soon.
Uprising, our team misses you, and I miss you the most, and I love you more. I'm praying for you, I believe in you, and I'm proud of you for being with us tonight. Every time we're together, it gets better and better, and our best days are ahead. I can't wait to see you soon.
Amazing love that welcomes me, the kindness of mercy that bought with blood wholeheartedly my soul undeserving. God, you're so good. God, you're so good. God, you're so good. You're so good to me.
Behold the cross, age to age, and hour by hour. The dead are raised, the sinners saved, the work of your power. God, you're so good. God, you're so good. God, you're so good. You're so good to me.
You're so good. God, you're so good. God, you're so good. You're so good to me. God, you're so good. God, you're so good. God, you're so good. You're so good to me. God, you're so good. God, you're so good. God, you're so good. You're so You're so good. God, you're so good. God, you're so good. You're so good to me.
Hey, what's up, Josh?
What's up, Selena? I hope you're doing amazing. And Rise Night has been so good so far. Our senior slideshow, that was great. Congratulations to all of our seniors out there. Congratulations to you because you just graduated as well. Thank you. Thank you. And don't forget, coming up next is our interview from Tyler Cook from the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's going to be so good. You will not want to miss that at all.
And definitely after that, we're going to have a large Zoom call with everyone from Uprising. So if you guys got friends from Uprising that you haven't seen in a while because of this quarantine stuff, go ahead, join this large Zoom call with everyone, and you'll be able to catch up, play games with them, and it would be so much fun. Also, by entering that large Zoom call, you have a chance to win a quarantine pack, which includes blankets, games, snacks, and even more. So go ahead, encourage your friends, text them that link, and tell them to come and join us tonight in Rise Night, because I don't want to miss out. I don't want to miss out on Tyler Cook.
Yes.
I mean, quarantine pack. This is.
I want to win that pack, and the rest of the night is going to be amazing. Like you said, don't miss it. Invite a friend, and we'll see you all soon.
Hey everyone, we are just so excited about tonight and all that God's going to do in our service, and we're so honored to have with us NBA professional basketball player. He's from the hometown, St. Louis, yeah, and we are honored to have him with us. His name is Tyler Cook. Goes to our church, been going for 15 years now, him and his family, and he plays currently for OKC Thunder, and we're excited to have him. We're excited to do a little interview and learn from him. You know, we're lifelong learners here at Church in the Rock and Uprising, and so I just want to say, Tyler, thank you so much for taking some time from quarantine right now.
Yeah, no doubt. Thank you for having me. Like I was telling you guys earlier, I got nothing but time now, so it's just a new norm, for us. So thanks for having me.
Tyler, I could go on your stat sheet here. I mean, come on, Chaminade College Prep. You won a state title. Play with Jason Tatum. You and him dominating there. Then going to the University of Iowa, taking that team, leading that team. I mean, going full-fledged to the NCAA tournament, doing great things there. Now in the NBA. I mean, my goodness, life has been a great journey for you, right?
Yeah, I mean, to say the least. And it's funny because I even a few years ago, I couldn't have told you that I would, be where I'm at now. I just been kind of, just almost just going with the flow, taking whatever the Lord gives me, and just playing the hand that I'm dealt, at all the time. That's something that I kind of live by. All you have is all you need. I've always said that to myself. So, I just go with what I got and try to make the most of whatever God gives me. So that's been, what I've been about since shot life. So.
That's so good. I love that. Everything you have is everything you need. Love it. You said something there, I think it's kind of key, maybe for people who are watching who maybe aren't devout basketball fans. It's been a journey for you. So this isn't something that's happened overnight. It's been a process, and maybe to you, I'm sure at times probably felt like a long process.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Can you talk to us a little bit about what that journey's been like for you, really from being a high school student here in St. Louis to where you're at right now? Talk to us a little bit about what that journey's been like, what that's really looked like, and maybe you could tell us like what's one of the hardest things that you've had to overcome in that journey to get you to where you're at right now.
Yeah, and I'll actually answer that one first. For me, like in my experiences, it's been like the uncertainty and like the doubts that that pop up in your mind. Because going back to when I was 14, 15 years old, started my high school career. I didn't know if I was going to get a college scholarship or not. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't see, my path, being in the spot that I was at. And so just like I was saying earlier, I was lucky enough to have, great friends and teammates, and even my parents that really just encouraged me to, to live in the moment, and just make the most of what I had. But at the same time, it was very hard not being able to see, what my life was going to be like a couple years from now, or what was going on. But just in that process, like the journey from then until now, looking back on it, like I don't even know how, it all worked out. You know what I'm saying? But it did. And there were nights where, there were days and nights where like I didn't even want to play ball anymore. Like I didn't know like if I was wasting my time or not. And there was and every time I talk about this, think about this one night. There was a night my freshman year of college, and I couldn't sleep, and I was super anxious, just thinking about like my future and if I was going to be like make it to the NBA or not, if I was going to have to go overseas, if I was going to play basketball at all. And there was a night where I was literally at the gym at 4:30 in the morning. Like I had been there like all night. Like I didn't go home and go to sleep. I had been in the gym the whole night. But I have a picture that I sent to my parents with a timestamp on it. It was at like 4:03 a.m. in the morning. I'm in the gym by myself, and like I had cried the night and everything. I just didn't know. It had like all hit me at once, like the uncertainty and like my anxiety of like, what was going to happen in my life, because I didn't know it. And to me, that was the hardest part of my whole journey. But looking back on it now, all those experiences that you go through, like they mold you and create, the finished product. I'm not a finished product, but it makes you, to what you are right now. So, I'm thankful, like for, those hard times that I did go through, because, I don't know where I'd be without those times. So, my journey's definitely been, it's been a journey, it's been a ride. There's ups and downs in everybody's life. And, I'm thankful for both of them, for sure.
That's amazing. You said that some of the hardest parts of your journey was the doubt, overcoming doubt, and anxiety. And also, I'm sure that you have felt a lot of pressure, just as any young person feels. Like all of our students, once they really get into high school, but that it just continues to amplify and build so much. By the time you're a junior, senior, you just have so much pressure, a ton of anxiety, so much of uncertainty, doubt. Do I continue to do this? Am I really gonna, is it gonna matter? Am I gonna make it? All of those things. Wow. I mean, so many of our students deal with that so much. Then in just a normal world, okay? Now you talk about those things in the world we're currently living in right now. Can you talk just maybe one more minute on those things? So those were some of the hardest parts of your journey in a normal world. And so now so many people are experiencing those same things in this crazy time. So how did you overcome it? Like, how did you push past it and continue, moving forward?
Yeah. And this is something that I don't even know. I guess it's just something that the Lord had put on my heart, but like from a young age. But every time I was in those situations, I still always knew that at the end of the day, everything was going to be all right. So even though like I would go through those times, it wasn't like something that would last or linger, because I was able to like sit down and okay, like no matter what happens, I'm going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? Like he wouldn't allow me to be in this stage of my life if it wasn't going to produce something positive. You know what I'm saying? And so especially like, and I always refer back to that time I was telling you about in college when I was in the gym super early in the morning, because to me that's like the biggest like example of what I'm saying. But like when you're in those times, realizing that like you are gonna be okay, you know what I'm saying, is what kind of helps you be able to like go to sleep and wake up the next day and do it all over again. You know what I'm saying? And keep going and keep going and keep going. So
I love that you text your parents in that moment. How important is it to have the right support system around you?
It's like, I can't tell you how many times like my mom and my dad called me and said the right thing at the right time to me. You know what I'm saying? And like and I'm the type, I don't even talk about how I feel most of the time. I'd rather just get through it, you know what I'm saying, between me and the Lord and whatever I'm doing. Like, I don't like to put my issues on other people. Like, I've never been that way. But like the texts and the calls and, like my mom would send me like the care package with like a whole bunch of snacks in there, write a note, like all that stuff seemed like it came at the perfect time for what I was, kind of battling and going through. So having like a support system, like my parents, my older brother, like I would not have like even come close to, being where I'm at on or off the court, without them. So.
Wow.
It's amazing, Tyler, because sometimes students, you know what this is like. You're in St. Louis, and it's kind of like this is the city. You're in this box, and you're like, I'm just ready to get out there, forget all these people. I'm ready to do my thing. You start thinking this way. As a high schooler, you're thinking, okay. And but then, now that you're out there, you realize how important it is, like you're saying, to have a support system. And, we have a power phrase that says the most important things in life are not things, but they're relationships. And, you like your parents. And I just admire your family so much, because you guys are tight knit. And Trent, like your family is tight knit. Like you guys, you care about each other. You look out for each other. And sometimes a lot of young people don't have that, but they have someone, they have a friend in church, but how important it is for us to have people around us that are going to uplift us and bring positivity in our life.
Exactly. I guess, and that's like like I said before, my parents have been like amazing at that. But like, if you need people to speak life into you and into your situation for you to like elevate, you know what I'm saying? So if you're around people that are like taking away from you, then like at the end of the day, you're not going to reach the potential that, that is there. So,
that's good.
And I've had, multiple people in my life that I've had to distance myself from because of the, that same reason. But like you said, my family and I we're a tight knit group. We stick together. We're like I said before, they've just been the reason, that I've been able to grow as a person, as a player, and everything. Just because they're always pouring, into me and not taking out of me. So.
I love that. I love it. Speak life. What would you say to somebody who maybe their dream isn't to become an NBA player, but they're living with an NBA-sized dream on the inside of them? What would you say to them, that someone who's living with a big dream that still maybe has a process?
this world has a way of like dumbing down your dreams, you know, and like it'll happen like subconsciously. You won't even realize that you're like compromising on your dreams or your goals. Like all of a sudden, when you're a kid, I always say you want to think like a kid. Like when I was like a few years ago, my dreams had gotten dumbed down. Like I was like, okay, maybe if I like maybe just play in NBA for a couple of years and like I, you know, get on the bench and, you know, may not play, but I'll get some money and, you know, I'll be upset playing NBA. Like then like I was able to sit back and realize and catch myself like that's not like what I'm doing this for. Like if we're talking about like just like my goals, I wanted to be the best player like in the world. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason why I have to compromise on my dreams because somebody else says that that's not realistic for me. So talking about like life outside of basketball, or for somebody who doesn't like isn't an athlete or just got other goals, you can't like dumb down your dreams because you feel like, oh, that's not attainable or that's something that I can't do. You have to go, like I always say, you got to go to the top. Like you have to shoot for the moon because then you land on stars, even if you land short. So do not compromise on your dreams, on your goals, on your work ethic, anything like that. Because like as cliche as it sounds, like everything is possible. Like I'm as normal, as regular of a kid as anybody you ever met in your life. You know what I'm saying? I grew up 15 minutes from the church, went to the school 10 steps from my house, you know what I'm saying, until I went to town. So like, and people like, you could not have told me that like I was supposed to have been where I'm at now 10 years ago, you know? It's just for the fact that I was able to dream that I got here, you know what I'm saying? So.
That's so good. And you know, you talked about that toughness and discipline, you know, and process. And you know, I think about Tyler, like, you know, sometimes we, you know, when we want to fulfill our dreams, sometimes we want to wait on it to come to us, but we realize that it's not going to come to us. There's work that we got to put into it. And so one of the things I noticed, and it kind of ties in with it, but one of the things I noticed is I was watching a couple interviews of you, and the way you carried yourself in the interviews. I watched just random interviews of you, and the way you carry yourself, the way you talked, the way the professionalism, like that doesn't happen overnight. You just don't go from, I was so impressed by this, but I thought, you know, what is your day-to-day process? Because it's not just physicality, right? There's a lot of mental, there's a lot of, you know, I was reading a book by Alan Stein called Raise Your Game, and he's talking about how when people are getting scouted, that they pay attention to how they talk, and they pay attention to how they answer interviews. They pay attention to the character side. Could you just kind of talk about like the commitment and character side of the process for you?
Yeah, that and like I said before, it sounds cliche, but that is what like elevates you. That's what takes you to the next level. It's like I could be a great basketball player, but if I'm not a great person, if I can't communicate, you know, how I feel, or if I can't relate to people, then like that hinders your growth, you know, more than anything. So, and luckily for me, like I've always been the talker. Like I was a kid in class, the teacher had to tell us shut up, you know, like that's just who I am. I love talking to people. I love just talking like in general, period. So like being able to articulate my feelings and talk to people has always come naturally. But the character side, like building who you are, like on the inside of you, and having like, you know, that having pride in your integrity, you know, and not compromising on that is what, you know, like I said before, elevates you, takes you to the next level. So I think that's kind of like what you see, you know, if you watch like my interviews, you know, I just talk to people like I'm talking to my family, you know, with respect and love, and I've always done that.
That's so good, Tyler. Okay, we talked all this serious stuff, but now I just got like we just want to talk. Okay, just a couple random things. First of all, I didn't put this in the questions, but are you a Jordan guy, a Nike guy, Adidas guy? Are you what you rocking right now?
I rock Nikes like my whole life, like, and I don't have anything against like any other brand, but it's just
like you never know if the endorsement's coming.
Yeah, endorsement's
Hey, they know, they got my phone number. They can call me anytime. No, but I've just rocked Nikes my whole life. I think it's just because like all my favorite athletes were Nike athletes. You know, Bron, KD, Kobe. You know, I've got almost all their shoes. You know, from when I was 8th grade up until now. So I've always been a Nike guy. I mean, I got a bunch of Jordans too, but I think everybody does. But I've always rocked Nike sneakers, especially when I'm playing.
It's funny you mentioned a few of your favorite players there. You mentioned a few of my favorite players there as well. And so I'm wondering if you were going right now, pick 4 other guys, you would be the 5th. Who are the 4 other guys on your team who are currently in the NBA? Not like in the history of the whole, okay, just like who are currently playing. What 4 players would you take right now?
All right, taking LeBron as my point guard. I'm taking, first of all, I'm super biased. I'm taking the 2 hometown kids. I'm taking Brad as my 2 and Jason as the 3.
Come on.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm playing the 4. And, oh man, this is tough. I'm going to go with, I'm going with Dwight Howard as my 5-man.
Really?
I've always been a Dwight Howard fan. I love Dwight Howard. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, you know, I didn't know
I
if I
didn't
saw
see
that
that
coming.
coming.
I don't know if I seen that coming.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I'll say, and
I feel like he was
there's
doing
only,
a good year.
there's only one basketball on the floor, so you can't have 5 scorers. You know, like you can't, because you don't have 5 basketball. So I needed somebody like another defender, rim runner, like, you know, somebody that can kind of hold the paint down, because, you know, LeBron, Brad, and Jason, they'll shoot all the basketballs in the gym. So so we needed some other guys that were good in the role. So.
You're gonna put your boy out there like that? You're just gonna say?
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely, absolutely. He knows it more than anybody.
That's funny.
Absolutely.
How exciting was that for you? Just real quick, we'll just talk about Jason for a second. How exciting was that for you to watch? So his journey was a little bit like ahead of you. Like, you know, he's in the draft. You know, what was it? 2 years, I think, right?
3 years.
3 years. Yeah. Ahead. So you have somebody who you're super close to, who's been, you know, really, I'm sure, like a brother to you. Just a little bit ahead in the journey. What was that? How was helpful, encouraging, inspiring? How was he able to kind of help you in those last couple of years for you?
That was, and Jason's not like the most like vocal dude. He wasn't like when we were growing up. He always just did what he did. You know what I'm saying? Let, you know, his actions speak for him. But seeing him get drafted, and I remember being in my apartment in Iowa City and like recording the draft on my phone, and like when they called his name with the 3rd pick, like I went nuts. Like it felt like I was getting drafted. Like my heart was beating fast, like my hands were sweaty. I'm running around. I can promise you, everybody in that apartment complex heard my voice that day. I know it for sure. I was like running around in the hallways, screaming and yelling, like going crazy. So seeing him get you, first and foremost, I was just happy for him, you know what I'm saying? Because I've seen, you know, up close and personal, you know, how hard he works and, you know, how much he puts into his craft and how much he cared about the game of basketball, you know. And to see that pay off for him was really a blessing to me, because that inspired me as well, you know, to kind of keep going. So, you know, that day, like, I'll never forget that. Like, even seeing him get drafted, because it like kind of gave me a boost. Okay, like he's first, like I'm right behind him. I'm coming next. So
love it.
It was awesome. That day was great.
I love that you put him on your team. I love it.
Absolutely.
You're loyal, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but bro, he's killing it right now, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I would probably pick him.
And it's not even like, I was about to say, it's not even a stretch. It's not like I'm just saying it because he's like one of the best players that we have in our league.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I'm curious though, somebody you left out on the team, which I know it's a tough question because you only get to roll with 4. But I'm curious because when we were talking a little bit before, you know, we started recording, we talked a little bit about Giannis for a minute, and I'm surprised that, is it just because you have this thing in you where you just want to go at him so bad now that you can't even put him on your team? Or like, I'm just curious.
I wouldn't even say, like, I want to, like, as much as I love like Jason and Brad, like personally, I want to go at them too. So like, it's, like if we're not wearing the same jersey, like I want all of that action. I want it all. But I think it's just because I only have 4 other guys to pick.
Okay.
I think that's the only reason. I love Giannis' game too. I mean, like we haven't seen, you know, anything like that, you know, in ever, like for real. So
right.
It was, if I had another spot, he'll be on that for sure.
All right, last question. We'll leave it at this.
Okay.
No, I want to go all day. Just on a serious note, like, why is your faith so important to you? You know, you grew up at Church on the Rock. I know you're still watching live streaming and still staying connected, but why is it so important to you?
Yeah. And I'll start like now at the point that I'm at now in my life. We were talking earlier about like how much time you have, like being like in the NBA, and like with that like comes with so many different avenues like and life choice that you can take and make. And like I've seen like different guys like go, you know, different paths in their life, and I never wanted my circumstances, even though they were really good, to determine like my lifestyle, the way I live my life, and the way I, you know, conduct and hold myself. And so, and like it's been hard, even coming into the league, and like you get that first big paycheck, and like you get to the point like you feel like, oh, like I look at what I did. Like this is when, in all actuality, I would not have even come close to what I've accomplished without God on my side. So, I think just being able to sit down and focus and realize and just almost force myself to make sure I stay the person that I have been, you know, even before I got here, has been the biggest, you know, blessing to myself. You know, it's been the best thing. And being here and having gotten a couple of those big paychecks and been in the Staples Center and in the Garden and all of that, nothing like, you don't get that fulfillment from that as you do from, you know, being close to God and being disciplined in your faith and what you've always done, you know, going to that point. Because there have been times in my life to where I feel like I dropped the ball in my faith and in my relationship with God, and I just feel like I don't care about the money that's in my account right now. I don't care, you know, about the car. I don't care about none of that. Like I don't feel good, you know, spiritually. So like when you go through those times, you really realize like what's really important and what, you know, life is all about, and that's, you know, fulfilling your purpose and God's plan for you. So I've, you know, kind of gone through that a couple of times. Even when I was in college, you kind of go through and see it. But you know, my dad who's sitting next to me always says like money always magnifies what's already there. So
yes,
absolutely. So when you kind of go through that for the first time, you know, when you kind of have, you know, what you always dreamed about, you really just see it more clear that really the only thing you need is God.
Wow.
That's so good, Tyler.
That was so beautifully said. Know that your church family in St. Louis, we always have you. We're always here believing in you, praying for you, pray for you for sure. Support you in any way that we can.
So would you pray? You know, you said something so powerful, you know, because I think if we're, you know, honest, there's all of us at some point in our life, you know, no matter how long we've been in church or no matter how long or what our background looks like, where we've had moments where we weren't, you know, with God, or things were rocky or things were bad, you know, and you know, we felt like, man, things need to change in my life. Would you just pray, you know, because so many students, they go through the same thing. And I just wanted to see if you pray for our students, and just pray for students out there that are watching this that are maybe in that same situation right now, that things are rocky or things are tough, or that they would run to God and run to His presence and grow in Him.
Yeah, absolutely. Heavenly Father, God, thank you for this day. Thank you for the many blessings that you've given us today, God, and the many more that are still to come. God, I pray that you just first and foremost take away anything that would hinder us from having a better relationship with you, God. So take away whatever would, you know, come in the way of us having a communication and being close and having a relationship with you. Lord, I just lift up our students and our young people today, God. I just pray that you just, you know, keep your hand of covering over all of us, over our students, God. Keep them encouraged, God. Keep them uplifted during this uncertain time. I just pray that you just use this time and help us use this time to continue to elevate ourselves, you know, to use this downtime to you know, to think and stay in your word and stay connected to you, so that, you know, whenever things do go back to, you know, to where we're used to, that we're able to, you know, have gained something from this time, instead of just sitting there idly. God, I just pray that you just help us to stay connected to your word, God. Help us to grow each and every single day in who we are in you and in your word. I just pray that you keep us safe, God. I pray hand of blessing protection over each and every person that's part of the Stretch and Rock family. That you just, God, continue to uplift us, God. Help us to grow and be better. I just pray this for our journeys, God. You just help us, keep our eyes on the prize, and that prize being you and your word and your purpose for our lives. And I pray, God, just through good and bad, you just help us to always give you thanks and all the praise, honor, and glory, God. Yes. And as always, God, we just thank you. We give you all the praise, God. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen. Thank God.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. That was such an amazing prayer.
That was a great prayer. We appreciate you. And hey, maybe your heart was touched by watching this. Would you just share this with a friend and comment in the section? Our host is coming right now, talking about next steps, events, and ways for you to get plugged in so you can grow in God, just like we see Tyler growing in God as well. We love you. See you soon.
Wow, wasn't our Rise Night online service amazing tonight? If you joined us for the first time or if you made a decision, we want to let you know that one of your next steps is Growth Track. Our Growth Track experience can be completed entirely online by going to cotr.org/growthtrack. Here in just a couple of seconds, we're going to be heading into our small groups, but they're not like the small groups that we have on Wednesday nights because we're going to be all together in one big Zoom group. The link to that group is posted in the description of our YouTube live video and our Facebook live video. And guys, you don't want to miss it because everyone who comes to this group will be entered to win our Uprising Quarantine Pack that's complete with snacks, an Uprising journal, a gift card, and an Uprising blanket. You don't want to miss it. Plus, Mark has a little surprise for us tonight. It's going to be so much fun. Remember, if you're planning on joining us in our small group, we ask that you change your Zoom username to your actual name before attempting to join the group. This is super simple to do. Once you've opened the Zoom app, you can click on your profile, click on settings, then go to display name, and then change your display name to your actual name. Well, we can't wait to see you here in just a few short seconds. Never forget that God